Here at home, the ticket price controversy is also alive and well for games at Atlanta Stadium. So let's break down the prices of FIFA's most recent ticket release, which began yesterday. Of the remaining single match tickets to Atlanta's 5 group stage games, the cheapest prices range from $380 to $1,500. For reference, the cheapest ticket for Georgia versus Bama at Sanford Stadium last year cost about the same as Czechia versus South Africa this summer, around $400. As for Atlanta's semifinal game, it will cost you $2,700 to sit in the nosebleeds. Prices for the United States World Cup opener against Paraguay in Los Angeles also turning heads. The cheapest ticket costs around $1,100, surprising the president at how much American soccer fans are being asked to pay. In an exclusive interview with the New York Post, President Trump said, "I did not know that number. I would certainly like to be there, but I wouldn't pay it either, to be honest with you." Gotta appreciate the honesty from the president. The higher ticket prices have lowered demand for hotels across host cities, but there is some good news for Atlanta in all of this. Score Atlanta anchor Landon Knight gives us the new numbers.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is expected to bring massive crowds to the United States, but new data suggests that the hotel boom may not be as strong as originally predicted. A report from the American Hotel and Lodging Association, based off of 205 responses from hotel operators and owners, says bookings across the 11 host cities are currently tracking below early projections, even with over 5 million tickets being reported as already sold. Industry leaders point to a few key reasons, including fewer international travelers making the trip, along with the rising travel costs and ongoing challenges in obtaining a visa. There's also been a shift behind the scenes, with FIFA releasing large blocks of previously reserved hotel rooms, which has reshaped booking patterns in several cities. Some locations are still seeing solid demand, but overall the expected surge hasn't fully materialized just yet. Among the host cities doing relatively well, Miami and our homestead of Atlanta have reportedly had fewer instances of bookings below expectations, with under 50% of reports from Atlanta signaling a shortage. Experts say that still could change as the tournament gets closer and fans make last-minute plans, but for now, the World Cup's economic impact on the United States is looking a little bit more uncertain than expected, with a $30 billion economic impact hinted at by FIFA President Gianni Infantino being potentially out of reach.